Hi everyone, it's Rita. I've gotten some requests about questions about how I keep my energy level up, and my energy's not always high every day. I mean, it's the whole idea of being in this human skin suit, right? But I did want to show you some of the crystals that I love. This is a Herkimer diamond. I found this when I came back from South Africa. I wanted to continue to swim in beautiful water, and I was guided to possibly do a trip north with my mom to New York, to the lakes up there. And natural water holds information and wisdom. So I always know that. I always ask when I go in natural water, what do I need to know? And I always hear great information. I get great advice. But I found that there's a place called Herkimer, New York, which is where these beautiful dual or double terminated quartz crystals come from. And they have an incredibly high vibration. I also really like the energy of lapis. And I bought this in Santa Fe because I'd been living in South Africa. And it reminded me of Table Mountain. And then I want to show you, this is amethyst point. So this is, amethyst gets really big. And here's just it's an amethyst point. You check out. This is a shell from Tahiti. I was blessed to be able to go to Tahiti. And I'll use this as an intro to the levels of energy. And I'm also wearing, this is a piece of moldavite. And this is a piece of phenacite from Brazil. So these things, okay, so part of keeping our vibration high is, innately, we are incredibly powerful, and we don't need any of these things in order to be incredible manifestors, creators, lovers, powerful energies, because we are powerful energies. And we can often give our power away, knowingly or unknowingly. And there's a woman named Simone Wright, who I highly recommend that you touch base with or connect in with. She runs Mystics School, and she's all about encouraging people to call back your power. So anyway, but see, these sorts of things are I guess kind of props to remind us of how powerful we are. The crystalline energy communicates with our crystalline energy, and it reminds us of our essence and our power. The elements do that as well, because there's a cellular connection with everything. So anyway, so don't be like, use your props the way you want to, but don't give your power away to them. Work with them, to accentuate who you are. One of the things I will do too, sometimes I'll call back my power if it's been given away or taken away knowingly or unknowingly. And I'll ask my guides and angels to call back in my power. And that's something I sort of learned from Simone, to pull your energy back to you. But also by expanding your energy field and being very much in your body, like feeling like the strength of your legs and expanding your field, is a very powerful place to be as well. And it's a place you should try to live in and move from every day. The other thing you can do to kind of clear your field is to imagine a kind of a spiraling energy coming up from your feet through your body and then cascading around your head. I see it as light, this beautiful light coming through and cascade, like spiraling up through your body and then cascading around. And you can go into a really calm place and get that moving. It's very powerful, and expand your field out. The other thing it's really important to understand is that we can have lifelong friends who are amazing, but really gravitating towards people, and that may be your lifelong friends, I don't know, but gravitating towards people that are positive, that are loving, that are striving to uplift others and to experience more joy and love on the planet. Those are people you want to move towards, and you'll be guided to these things as your vibration increases, because everything is governed by law of attraction. You'll just have these people come in, or you'll be like, for me, after my mom passed and a relationship ended that I thought would be like the rest of my life relationship. So it was really a bad year. I decided the next year I was going to do some good stuff for me. And so I made a commitment. I went and joined a cruise that was being done by Mike Dooley, who's an Infinite Possibilities creator, writer, and he has amazing people that are drawn to travel with him. And so I just had a blast, and I've met some friends through that I still are in touch with every week, which is really awesome. And that's where I got this shell in Tahiti. And I did his Infinite Possibilities Train the Trainer, which was filled with some really cool coaches. And I did another trip with him. I also have done an Abraham Hicks cruise. If you're not familiar with Abraham, Esther Hicks channels in a collective consciousness that I feel is sort of, they say leading edge. If you want to say leading edge, it's people that are creating, and they're being very thoughtful about how they're creating in their world. So if you're not familiar with them, I listen to one of their shares every morning. I subscribe on YouTube to folks that don't have any ads. And then I get notifications from them. So in the morning when I get up, I'll often listen to one of their shares. And I have a share of theirs that I'll post with their permission. That's an energy share that was actually shared on my birthday last year, because she does weekend like workshops that you can buy for the day. And anyway, I have that on my phone, and I listen to it because it's a silent energy blast, and I can feel my skin tingle, or I can actually almost laugh out loud when it comes on, because it raises your vibration. And I believe in all this energy stuff. So I like to attract and focus on things that feel really good to me. And then some people had told me about Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I had listened to some of his shares, and I believed in them, but I'd never done his meditations. And so earlier this year, I started listening to his meditations, and the first one I listened to was called Water Rising. And I mean, it just like took me into another place. And it's a meditation that goes along with a book that he wrote on the science, kind of the science of, how to attract more into your life by holding a vision and an energy space outside of your daily routine, because we get in these daily routines and it's very difficult for us to manifest anything different than that. And I'm telling you, he's tweaked his meditations. He's bringing in the science. He has scientists that are mapping the neurotransmissions in the brain. And you can see in these meditations when he says a certain word, and somebody said he's like a circus announcer, and he sort of is like, and now we're going to do this, and we're going to, or let this happen, so it is kind of fun that way. I mean, you have to kind of decide if that feels fun to you, but it does to me. And I'm literally like, I can be sitting there and my head is like I am floating in space, or I am just floating in water, and detaching from the body, because the body can hold a lot of egoic repetition, protective stuff. So sometimes if we can get in a detached state, and we can do it by going into our cells. That's another thing that I'll do. I'll go into my body and into a cell, and go deep into a cell where you go past the transmissions of light and energy, and then you connect in with the essence of that original cell. And I'll also invite my cells in a quieted mind space, along with my guides and angels and God. I'll just invite my cells to emit light, to glow, to remember the energy of palladium, to remember the energy of phenacite or gold, or the energy of tachyon, which is kind of new to me. But I'll invite my cells to remember these energies, remember how powerful they are. And I can feel, just like now, I feel all my cells tingling. So you can invite your cells to just emit light and picture some of them moving around, and you can picture them like a pinball machine bouncing off of each other, and just like as they bounce and touch, they're just emitting more and more and more and more and more light, right? Because we are light, we are filled with light. And when we're having issues or contrasting issues or dis-ease in the body, those sorts of things, it's because we're not accessing all that we are, and we're not pulsating with this light and energy. So play with those. I'll think of, as I think of other things, I'll share them. I don't want to make too long of a video, but just wanted to give you some ideas of, you know, put your crystals. I put some in my, I sleep with some, you know, I have some in my bed. I love rose quartz as well. I don't have it here. I love selenite as well. This is the lapis lazuli. I have sitting here next to me this big piece of citrine, which is really cool. So, and again, these are kind of props. The other thing I use is a beamer. It's been using it since November of 2016. And I know it. I feel like it ages me backwards. And it gets my blood flow moving on a cellular level, like on a capillary level. It increases my blood flow by up to 30%. So it's had all sorts of amazing things for me. Energy-wise, just if I have an issue where I've pulled something, I really feel like I broke this wrist, and I started using it, and I didn't need to. I mean, it's just really amazing. It's almost like I use it every day, and it's cellular detoxing. I saw that with my naturopath. I took the beamer in when I first got it, and we did, it's an 8-minute, you lie on a mat, basically 8 minutes twice a day. And I sell them I'm an independent distributor of beamer. I don't really sell like a ton of them. They're more angelically led for me, but I do feel like it's one of my biohacks. So it's like I lie on this mat for 8 minutes twice a day. And I actually use the sleep mode now, so it helps the kidneys and stuff detox in the morning, because that's what our bodies do at night, is detox. But the scientist that was working on this said that there was equipment coming out that was showing that it was working in the 5th and 7th dimension, you know, and so I don't really know that. I think it can create abundance and joy in different ways for you. But I love it, and I'm happy to answer any questions about it. But what we showed with my naturopath doc was after the first 8, like she did my live blood cell analysis, and my blood was starting to clump up a little bit, my red blood cells, they just weren't moving as freely, which is usually an indicator of inflammation. And so then I did the 8 minutes in her office on the beamer, and suddenly my cells were moving more freely. And she's like, look at this. And she's like, showing me these little white lines going through my cells. And she goes, that's your cell detoxing. So that was my personal, experience with that. So I think I'll open up the Akash of this Moldavite next. I'll try to do more videos. I've been transitioning, and for those of you that are interested in our film, Shaizan was not able to finish the work on it, so and that's okay. He wasn't here for a lot of the filming that we did last year, which is really the main part of the film that I want to show you all, because it's using a lot of different people, not just me. And that's the best part, because it's all these different people that were involved in this project, which I love. And so anyway, I'm working with an amazing film student at ASU, and she's doing the edits for me right now. And that'll all come forward beautifully. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to show you what we've been creating, and what's come forward for me in the process. So some great interviews as well. So anyway, I'll leave you with a amethyst point, and I trust you're having an amazing weekend. Take care. Bye.